about ensuring they get everything they're entitled to, including Verify viewer Faith, who sent us this question.
Hey Verify, I want to know, when your spouse dies, do you get their full Social Security check if you both are retired and collecting Social Security?
So Faith, let's verify. Our sources are the Social Security Administration and AARP. The answer to this question depends on your personal circumstances. When someone receiving Social Security passes away, their widow or widower can continue to receive some or all of their late spouse's monthly check.
Can you expect a fourth stimulus check by 2023? Well, the good news is that you can. You can actually get a stimulus check very soon if you meet these certain requirements. So I know many of you guys are wondering whether or not your stimulus payment will arrive in the mail, and if the government has provided billions of dollars yet. Well, the news is that the crisis opened with a debate over the American Rescue Plan, which will go on to boost household income by $1,400 and $5,600 for a family of four. And through the several rounds of stimulus payments, this all helped so many people. All according to Newsweek, most people have already received the American Rescue Plan, all in full, but those who haven't may be able to claim their economic impact check as the recovery rebate credit. Depending on where you live, you might be eligible for stimulus money in 2022 in one form or another. And the bad news is for people in non-stimulus states who are hoping for a fourth one. That's because many states are offering their own form of stimulus money, and many states, including California and Florida, have also given out their stimulus payments, state stimulus checks to the residents. Some of those states might continue these programs into the new year. Some took the form of nearly universal checks, others were specific to certain occupations like teachers or first responders, while others were reserved for students, or administered through an expansion of programs like SNAP, with the highest rate of inflation in 40 years, still continuing to impact the United States. Many lawmakers are pushing to continue sending additional stimulus payments. And to lighten the burden, folks, endured by low-income households, Tennessee will be sending out approximately 34,000 stimulus checks to 24,000 people. According to NBC News, families participating in Tennessee's stimulus program will receive a one-time additional payment of $500 just to help with the holiday season and holiday expenses. And the Families First Act is a state-administered stimulus payment. It's from the state, and also the federal government currently provides approximately $16.5 billion in grants to U.S. states that fund monthly cash assistance payments to their eligible residents through programs like Families First in Tennessee. And since April, many Iowa residents have been struggling to keep up with decreases to the SNAP benefits. And it means that the governor ended the state's public health proclamation for the crisis. More than 250,000 low-income Iowa people rely on the SNAP benefits just to make it by. So when they stop receiving these benefits, you can experience the pain that they felt. It's because many were wondering what to do next. In food banks of Iowa's 40-year history, they have seen a record number of Iowa residents seeking food assistance, serving more than 50,000 households in September alone. However, a decrease in SNAP isn't the only contributing factor and the reason why people are suffering. Higher costs at the grocery store are increasing that need as well. To help these low-income families that are facing the stimulus problem, Iowa Hunger Coalition is coming together. They're laying out policy priorities for when lawmakers are back, and they're focusing on expanding SNAP benefits and doubling the value of SNAP dollars spent on fruits and vegetables. It means that people can expect to see more stimulus money in certain states, so be sure to claim your stimulus cash.
Well, good morning, folks, and it is a good morning. Moments ago, standing together with her wife Sherelle in the Oval Office, I spoke with Brittney Griner. She's safe, she's on a plane, she's on her way home. After months of being unjustly detained in Russia, held under intolerable circumstances. Brittney will soon be back in the arms of her loved ones, and she should have been there all along. This is a day we've worked toward for a long time. We never stopped pushing for her release. It took painstaking and intense negotiations, and I want to thank all the hard-working public servants across my administration who worked tirelessly to secure her release. I also want to thank the UAE for helping us facilitate Brittney's return, because that's where she landed. These past few months have been hell for Brittney and for Charlie and her entire family and all her teammates back home. People all across the country have learned about Brittney's story, advocated for her release, stood with her throughout this terrible ordeal. And I know that support meant a lot to her family. I'm glad to be able to say that Brittney's in good spirits. She's relieved to finally be heading home. And the fact remains that she's lost months of her life, experienced the needless trauma, and she deserves space, privacy, and time with her loved ones to recover and heal from her time being wrongfully detained. Brittney is an incomparable athlete, a two-time Olympic gold medalist for Team USA. She endured mistreatment in a show trial in Russia with characteristic grit and incredible dignity. She represents the best about America. It is across the board, everything about her. She wrote to me back in July. She didn't ask for special treatment, even though we've been working on a release from the day one. She requested a simple quote, "Please don't forget about me and the other American detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home." We never forgot about Brittney. We've not forgotten about Paul Whelan, who's been unjustly detained in Russia for years. This was not a choice of which American.
The Department of Finance is now working on getting relief for the next round of people who may have been exempt from filing due to income level, pension, or Social Security. State officials have said, using databases, we will send out more checks between now and the middle of October. And my hope is that we may get another 50 to 100,000 additional checks using these methods. The state suggests that anyone who has not received a check to find out if theirs has been mailed and to review the current criteria for residents receiving a second round of rebate. Now, a huge monthly benefit boost, everybody, is coming to everybody for Social Security, SSI, and SSDI. So eligible Americans may receive hundreds of dollars extra every month, and President Biden has announced that he will be making several important changes to Social Security and Medicare.
The president has a plan to address that. Securing our border is part of our security, to protect and defend our country. Let there be no doubt. I don't respond to those kind of questions. I mean, with all due respect, I'll respect your question at the end, but not to his comments, because I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if he does. But the fact is...
So today, President Biden put the spotlight on Medicare and Social Security and two hot-button issues that could pack a political punch 6 weeks before the midterm elections. His remarks at the White House were delivered after the popular programs got little attention and House Republicans' rollout of the agenda that they promised to pursue. If voters give them control in November, both Medicare and Social Security face long-run financing problems. Democrats propose solutions that are generally focused on increasing taxes on higher income earners. And Republicans say that Democrats are planning a further strain in Medicare through recent efforts to lower prescription costs. Many Republicans have backed raising the eligibility age for Medicare and the retirement age for Social Security as a part of the plan to keep these programs solvent without hiking taxes.